At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Serving Donegal since 1983, Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies is your one-stop shop for bathrooms, heating and renewable energy solutions. Visit our showroom for quality products, expert advice and friendly local service. Proudly part of the Shop Local gift card scheme. Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies. 40 years of quality, service and trust.
Fáilte ó Gatanian seo go dtí páirtníomh clumba a Glenswally fan an cléala canis fia híon a dún na gáil. Lingen aniu to Emer ní galar. Emer, bad day.
Gur an waigad mar sin laugh love batch an shocking land sully Conaill had doch retche agus súla an bidr nachgur hí na Conaill ar stacker an glithe new. Ten comer an scale goal and grishin ag séju o husco down in the park agus bidr to súla an nac me clíthe gath la hagan new.
Yeah, Emer, we'll just, as we wait here today, the conditions are terrible here. Fair play to the Glenswally club here to letting the game go ahead. And Anthony McCulloch, who two hours ago with Sinead Breen, got the pitch inspected and the game went ahead. The other semi-final was won by 4 Masters, scoreline of 15 points to 2-4 in poor conditions as well. But we'll look at, as they say it's the same for both teams. Suppose the toss of the coin is happening out here in the middle of the field. The referee is Anthony McCulloch from the Naomh club in Conaill, and they'll be soon ready to go here. I'll just run quickly through the two teams. Sinead Breen has come over and given us the changes on the team. The Tearmainn team, which will line out as selected, in fairness to them. In goals is Thomas Cannon, right full-back Cormac Cassidy, full-back Emmett McGettigan, and left full-back is Jack O'Neill. Right half-back Fatig Fagan, centre half-back Cormac Gallagher. A lot of people here to watch Cormac today. I think he's up with the county team and a development squad. And at left half-back is Cormac Brady. The 3 half-backs all played senior this year, and so did the 2 midfielders. Oisin Harkin wearing 8 and John James Sweeney wearing 9. Half forward line Gary McGettigan, who had a fitness test before the match but came through it. Big player for them, a senior player as well. Kieran Cassidy, the main man on the 40 for the men from Tearmainn, and Owen Brown is named wearing 12 but could go to the half back line with Cormac Brady coming to the half forward line. And then inside we have Evan McKeown. Full forward is Oran Gallagher, and Shea Boyle, another 2-footed player at left corner forward. That's the Tearmainn team and the semi-final. A lot of great work going on in Tearmainn club. Let's give the likes of Tearmainn Glenswally great credit to be up there with the Naomh Conaill and 4 Masters, who would have dominated underage football at this level. The Naomh Conaill team, so what changes here. In goals is Dylan McGlynn. Jack McGlynn wearing 32, who comes in at corner back. Jackie Shen at number 3 at fullback, and Niall Rorty, a brother of Finbar Rorty's, at 4. The half back line is Dahi Malloy wearing 33, comes in at right half back. Thomas McDevitt wearing 6 at centre half back, and Oran Doherty wearing 7. The middle of the field where they're very strong. Max Campbell, who's up with the county squad as well this year and had a brilliant year. Max Campbell and Finbar Rorty wearing number 29. Maybe the 9 jersey doesn't fit him anymore, and he's got 29 on him. The half forward line is Mark McDevitt wearing 10, Danny Brown wearing 11, and Jamie Byrne comes in at left half forward instead of Sean Doherty wearing 26. The full forward line is Stephen McDevitt wearing 13, Shea Malone 14, and Tiernan Ward wears 15. So you have 2 sets of brothers there, the McDevitts and the Rortys, and you've got the Cassidy brothers and the Tearmainn team. Now both teams are in their huddle. Down below is here Tearmainn, right down to our left down here. I think maybe Tearmainn have actually left the field and gone off the field into the dressing room. Naomh Conaill have stayed out on the dressing room. Emer, you know, being a Tearmainn lady, I know you'll not be biased or anything, feeling today, but big day for Tearmainn because there are a lot of work going on, as you know, in the club every way on and off the field. So big crowd here cheering them right onto the field as well. So probably a wee bit of pressures on the Naomh Conaill team. What are you expecting from Tearmainn today?
Well, I think they shouldn't really come into this game with any fear today. They've been unbeaten so far, and I think that'll give them a huge amount of confidence coming out today in a semi-final. Huge amount of these players with senior experience. You could say the same for Glenties. In saying that, that means there's a lot of miles in the leg, so it really is a tough time of year for all these players that have represented at senior level. It's a really wet, heavy day today. As I said, a lot of miles in the legs at this year to date, and we'll just see what team can kind of power through today as well. From a Tearmainn perspective, you know, there's 3 key players for them that haven't played at all this year due to injury. You have the likes of Cian McMenamin, Kevin Mallon and Ryan Nibbs, 3 very important senior players for them at this level that just haven't been able to play. So I think it's incredible that so many of the others have stepped up, and they've really shone the torch for Tearmainn at this stage to date.
Yeah, that's right. We're ready to go here. Look, it will bear with us. The conditions is not great. The rain is blowing into our faces here, but we'll do our best from here, and we're looking forward to it. 2 well evenly matched teams. Max Campbell's in the middle, going into the middle of the field with Gary McGettigan, and where number 10 has gone to the midfield against Max Campbell. It's funny, it's not Finbar Rorty. He starts out in the far sideline. Here we go. And Max Campbell was right to do it, got his fist to that ball, and the Naomh Conaill men have the possession and they're going to hold on to the ball. I suppose as long as they want to hold on to the ball. Finbar Rorty got his first touch there. Just like to congratulate. Here he is again. Well, no Finbar, no problem with them orange boots on him, Emer. And Paddy O'Shea, God rest him, used to say, if you're going to wear orange boots you have to be able to perform, or it was white boots away back in that day. You have to perform if you have white boots on you. But anyway, this man can perform. They're holding on to possession. Shea Malone, another exciting player who had a very good championship and was Naomh Conaill best player against Scottstown. It was up there. That here goes Finbar Rorty busting through on his left foot, being well tackled, ball goes to ground considering the conditions and everything else, and it's just gone out over the sideline. It was Kieran Castee knocked the ball out over the sideline. And possession, Emer, this new game is all about keep getting possession from kickouts, possession from the throw-in, and it's very important, possession.
And that's it. And especially on a day like today, Martin, whenever the conditions won't really favour any team. And from a Tearmainn perspective, you know, on a day like today, coming out against Glenties, they really just need to let themselves settle into this game and not let the nerves get to them either.
Yeah, it's a big game, as Emer says, for the men from Tearmainn. A lot of these Conaill players would have played senior football and would have good experience. Even the reserve team, which will be a lot of these players that won the reserve championship as well. Go Max Campbell gives it off to Mark McDevitt, who's vice captain of the county under 21 team that's gone through. It looks like steps there, but for Shea Malone, he was looking for it. He turns on to the right foot, and we know how accurate Shea Malone is, and must have been fairly close maybe to a 2-pointer, but a good score and the first score of the game. I think Naomh Conaill are playing with the breeze, so again got possession of the throw-in, and Tearmainn never really got their hands on it, and it's gone over the bar.
No, and you can see that they recognise that Shea Malone is a danger man there. There was actually 3 of them that left their own players to go directly to him, but with the experience that Shea has, he was able to do a real 360 turn there and got himself onto his good foot with a very clean score over the bar. So with 4 points in the semi-final, Tearmainn are going to recognise that he's definitely a man that needs to be watched today.
Yeah, and they got to think, did he get 6 at least? I think it was 6 against Scottstown in that game. So yeah, a big fine for the Naomh Conaill club, a big fine for Donegal football. You'd hope we would expect to see him in a Donegal jersey at some stage this year. Ball's broken down again by because Max Campbell got his hands at it again. The the Glenties men pick it up. Oran Doherty. There's a lot of Oran Dohertys in Glenties. Back to Finbar Rorty. Rorty's always available. Gives the ball across to his foot. Shea Malone, who's come right out there. Shea Malone, good foot pass by Shea Malone and to number 13, Stephen McDevitt, and he goes for a brilliant score, and that's a 1-pointer again. Stephen McDevitt, that's a brilliant score. A good ball from Shea Malone, didn't hit the ground, which in the conditions, it's important to players to adapt to the conditions. As you know, Emer, from playing at a high level, the ball, you can't put the ball to the ground today. You have to hit a great ball from Shea Malone straight to his chest. That give him that advantage, give him time to turn and kick the score.
Exactly, and he showed real confidence there. You know, he didn't doubt himself at all with the turn there. And what's very interesting is you can see that Finbar Rorty's playing a real playmaker role there, hanging around the 45 and just directing everything for Glenties.
Here comes and it was centre back Cormac Geller, and the conditions again caught him out, and the Conaill trying to come out of the ball is on the ground, is half picked up. This is what we call it, a ruck. We saw plenty of them yesterday in the rugby match in the Viva. It's play on, and the Naomh Conaill men half have it. It's very hard to get your hands on. Conditions are, and I think the ref will have to ref it considering the conditions. Here's Oisín Harkin. Oisín Harkin does really well. Look, shout scouting for well play. What a brilliant ball from Oisin Harkin into Cormac Brady. Cormac Brady busting through again, dispossessed again, but Cormac Brady does really well in dispossessed. He lays it off to Kieran Cassidy, and Kieran Cassidy gives it back to John James Sweeney. This is the first Tearmainn attack, first time they've crossed the 45 really in the game. It's Owen Brown now. Owen Brown cuts right through now. It's a pass inside that you wouldn't like it, because you had 4 or 5 Naomh Conaill men around him. That ball was always going to be turned over. That's what I'm talking about, making the right decision on the ball, and the ball's gone out to Niall Rorty. Niall Rorty gives it inside, and still the Naomh Conaill men trying to work it out, but they're experienced, they will, and they've got it to Thomas McDevitt, and it's coming to the side of the field. Good defending, really.
Very good defending, and you know, one of Tearmainn's strengths is their pace and how nimble that they are, and it really isn't a day for that whenever the conditions are like this, so they are going to need to release possession that wee bit faster and make sure that they have support coming off the shoulder. But I have to say, from a Naomh Conaill perspective, they really are coming in 3s and 4s, and there's no easy path through to the net, so have to applaud them there on a fantastic exhibition of defending.
Yeah, we've gone just 5 minutes into this first half. It's 2 points. Naomh Conaill, no score to the men from Tearmainn. Now, considering you would think it'll be low enough score, and a goal would be a massive score. Even a 2-pointer today will be a massive score. So Tearmainn have all their players back just as far as they can take them back to try to cut out the Naomh Conaill attack. It was coming to this side of the field, and it's that man, Mark McDevitt, good friend of his, Declan Gallagher's here beside me. Mark is given inside, but it's cut out by Oisin Harkin. Oisin Harkin plays it to and they're holding on to possession of the ball now, the Tearmainn men, and they're going to work it out. Here they go. Tearmainn. I played with a great Tearmainn man, Tommy Ryan, and who won an All-Ireland under 21 and won an All-Ireland senior as well. And here goes this turnover again. And this is dangerous, isn't that wee man, Stephen McDevitt? He loves that left foot. He cuts inside. This is very good play by McDevitt, and that's a great score by McDevitt. That's the second point of the game. Listen, small players, some people say that they can't play in these kind of conditions. He's showing that you can play in these conditions. That's 2 brilliant scores he's got, and he's not big.
Yeah, he's not big, and again, from a forward perspective for Naomh Conaill, the work rate's there to turn that ball back over. It looked like Tearmainn were making a beeline out this side of the pitch, but again, they just never gave up a quick hand in, maybe an easy pass given away there. But McDevitt was waiting, and he was very hungry for that one, and he just shows with a bit of pace and a sidestep. He made a great angle for himself to get that score over the bar. Yeah,
the sidestep makes the difference, because the player, the defender, trying to mark you, the feet, underground conditions are not great, so if you're going at a player 1-to-1 like that, it's an important thing. But just look down here to our right, the scoreboard says 3 points to no score, and Declan Gallagher's here beside me doing the score as well, so it's 3 points to no score for the Conaill men, and we've gone 6.5 minutes into this, and it's turned over again by the Naomh Conaill men. They're brilliant at turning over the ball. They get the body, and here's that wee man McDevitt, and he tries to lay it off, and he got it laid off, and it's Finbar Rorty, I think. It's not Finbar Rorty, actually, it's number 26, who's Jamie Byrne came on, and here with the ball out the side of the field, and down goes the Tearmainn man. Yeah, as you say, if you bend your back, used to say in my day, you get a free, and that's what exactly happened there. I think it was the midfielder bent his back. So Tearmainn need a score, Emer, just to settle them. They just need to get a shot for a score. There's a player down injured now, so a wee bit of a break. Conditions are poor, but I think at this stage Naomh Conaill are, they're playing better in the conditions particularly.
Yeah, and I think they're just doing everything maybe that little bit more simply. They're keeping the ball to the chest. They're not trying to do anything too dangerous, and they're really not trying to take balls into 3 or 4 players. So I do think Tearmainn need to play to their strengths. They have great pace, and they need to go in 2s and 3s instead of trying to take people on by themselves. And again, they're having great difficulty so far getting the ball out of their own half. So I think the likes of Oisin Harkin there, who's a great carrier of the ball, he just needs that wee bit more support coming off the shoulder, so he doesn't have to go into those gridlocks of Naomh Conaill players at the minute.
Yeah, that's it. Now, in fairness to Tearmainn, they are playing against a strong breeze, and posing away, if you're a Tearmainn management, you might be reasonably happy enough. So far, they haven't got any 2 points. We've gone 8 minutes to this half, and there's a player down, I think it's a Tearmainn player that's down injured over. It's number 12 for Tearmainn. He's down injured, Owen Brown. and he's just picked up a knock in that last attack, and he's still down, but he looks like he's up and he's going to be okay. The wee break might do Tearmainn no harm to get a, as I said, just get a, as you're talking about the likes of Oisin Harkin there, he's trying to tell players to move. I think the big thing is what you said, Emer, they're getting turned over because they're carrying the ball into tackles, and and they just need to try to get a wee bit of space, men off the shoulder, as you said, at a bit of pace and everything else, and just to settle them down, and if they could get a score from their point of view, would be great.
And as you said, Martin, just one score would settle them a lot, because they're very good on the opposition kick out as well. They press high, and on a day like today they could reap the rewards of that as well. So I do think just one score on the board would make a world of difference to Tearmainn at the minute.
Yeah, he's gone along with the kick and has flicked on, and but the Naomh Conaill men have it again, and it's that man Mark McDevitt turned Sosa to the ground trying to get it out. It's gone to Max Campbell, but it's turned over, and here we go. It's a brilliant tip inside by John James Sweeney. He did really well into his midfield partner. Now he's carrying Oisin Harkin. Oisin carrying right through, and they're going to work it over to the other side, and it's held up by Owen Brown, the man that was injured. He seems to be okay again, and they're working it. But we see the Naomh Conaill defence. It's just the way they defend as they come across from one side of the field to the other, keeping teams out. Very well drilled, very well coached, and when we look at them, their senior team won the championship this year. They're on this under-21 team are in the semi-final. You have to give a brilliant amount of credit, and we have a lot of them playing for the county as well, so we have great credit to that club. Here goes the men from Tearmainn, and a shot in, and it's fisted by the keeper up in the air. Dylan McGlynn just fisted up in there, and still a chance, and there's a half chance for Owen Gallagher. I think it is Owen Gallagher, and they play it back out to Oisin Harkin. Oisin Harkin gives it to number 11, Kieran Cassidy, and they're just going to try to keep possession. It's back with Oisin Harkin. He's got his midfield partner on this side of the field, John James Sweeney. Now he goes long. It's a great ball in, brilliant, great chance of a score here. It's gone in and it's gone over the bar, and it's Evan McKeown. Somebody told me he's Evan Keown, but he's actually Evan McKeown, as Emer knows. So good score, brilliant ball in by Oisin Harkin. A lot of people, I always say it's a great sign of a player when he kicks it and nobody knows where it's going. Then when you look, you see exactly what he was doing. So he was thinking ahead of players. So good score, 3 points to 1.
And much better from Tearmainn as well. You know, the ball was spread out to the left hand side of the pitch there. To Owen Brown, and he didn't have any support on that side of the pitch, so he did recycle, and Tearmainn did reap the rewards from that at the end by showing a bit of patience. Yeah, his ball's gone up and Danny Brown picks it up on the ground and it's into that danger man Shea Malone cutting inside. Shea Malone, and now it's Danny Brown, the centre forward. Danny plays it out to Finbar Rorty on his left foot, thought about it, changed his mind, gives it across to his midfield partner Max Campbell. Very exciting player, Max Campbell. You see him playing. He's got a lot of skill and a lot of good things about him. I heard he was up in trial games and he didn't look out of place at all. He's a big future ahead of him. So does a lot of these Naomh Conaill players, and they're holding possession of the ball and they're going to work it. It's Jack McGlynn wearing 32. It comes across Max Campbell. Max Campbell gives it across to Shea Malone. Shea's going to go for it from there, but he didn't catch it right. And it's cut out. Well, it's half cut out, but it is cut out and ended by Patrick Fagan. Patrick Fagan coming out with the ball. They're going to keep possession of the ball. Tearmainn have settled, and their defence were definitely better at that time. There weren't much options on for Shea Malone to give it away. Emer. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it wasn't exactly a bad pass by Shea Malone either, because any ball in there on a day like today is a dangerous ball, but Tearmainn did deal with that very well, in fairness. And as you say, they're showing a lot of composure now. Look at them breaking out of defence there in numbers. That's maybe what they were missing in the first 10 minutes. So I think they have a bit of steam up now and a bit of momentum, so hopefully they can capitalise on it.
Yeah, that's gone. They have it on the far side of the field, and it's Kieran Cassidy. Dangerous players, Kieran Cassidy. They keep possession. They're working it out the field. That man again, he's handled a lot of ball as Oisin Harkin, and he just foot passes across, soccer style, doing the right thing, and just good play there. Told the player just Jack O'Neill to stay back. And now it's the midfield man, John James Sweeney down below us. He gives it, that's not a good pass, it's gone inside, but it's brilliantly taken. The pass by Shea Boyle wasn't good, but he got away with it. John James Sweeney, he's going to kick, he changed his mind, shoulder dummy, back to Oisin Harkin, and they're going to keep carrying the ball to this side of the field. So they're Owen Gallagher inside to John James Sweeney, he's through and he's going to have an easy chance of a score here, and he knocks it over the bar. And definitely, like we look at it, it's 3 points to 2 now in favour of Naomh Conaill, but Naomh Conaill got the 3 points in all now. Tearmainn have, as you said, Emer, have really settled, and their two midfielders are handling a lot of ball.
Yeah, and I have to say there was a brilliant decoy run by Kieran Cassidy. Obviously Naomh Conaill have done their homework and they've recognised that he's a real danger player for Tearmainn, but he did a decoy run that took two Naomh Conaill players with him that left that space open for John James Sweeney, who was very easily able to put that over the bar. So there's great communication between the Tearmainn men at the minute, and hopefully they can carry on.
Owen Brown again, he's got over that injury, and they have it over on the far side. Naomh Conaill just struggling a bit to get possession of their own kick out, and here goes the men from Tearmainn. You just feel already this game's going to go down to the wire. It's going to be that very, very close today. It's Cormac Cassidy wearing number 2. Numbers don't matter anymore. Cormac, that's a bad pass. It's cut out by Max Campbell. Max Campbell, this is danger, and he foot passes the ball into the danger man, Stephen McDevitt. Stephen picks it up. He's 2 points scored already of the Naomh Conaill 3. Stephen, left foot. He's tackled hard, but he holds on to possession. Gives it back to the man that kicked it up to him, Max Campbell. Max Campbell gives it inside to the 15. Tiernan Ward gives it back out to, I think Tiernan Ward's the son of Pat Ward, who I would have played county football with his dad. His dad was a very good footballer. He's come to this side of the field to Finbar Rorty. He's a lot of football played this year, Finbar Rorty. He's every day we go to do a game, he's playing some level of football. And I know he's in Jordanstown as well. He's a freshers in Jordanstown and everything else. So he's had a fabulous, unbelievable year. And here we go, just held on by Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt gives it to Finbar Rorty. He thought about it. He was lucky not to be blown for steps. He gives it into Shane Malone. This is danger. There's a goal chance here. And he knocked it over the bar. But that was a big goal chance. And of all the players you want on the end of it was Shane Malone, and maybe he didn't think he was as close to the goalkeeper. Good score again. Finbar Rorty involved. Did he overcarry? Maybe another day he would have been blown for overcarrying, because that there. But good goal chance. But it just shows you Naomh Conaill give away the 2 points, now back down, and they've settled another score.
And that's it. And I think Finbar Rorty's shown his experience there. He timed Shane Malone's run perfectly. Just a simple pop pass over the head that just left him almost one-on-one with the keeper. So a really good performance by Finbar so far. But Shane Malone, he's a hard man to watch at the minute.
He is a hard man to watch, is right. He's 2 points got, and so is Stephen McDevitt beside him with the 2. That's the Naomh Conaill 4 points got by the two men in 13 and 14. Ball's played out and is fumbled by Gary McGettigan, and he's been turned over. And it's Mark McDevitt who's turning up every part of the pass. Gives it in as his brother, I think they're brothers. And it's given inside. Stephen McDevitt, they're holding on to the ball. Into Shane Malone. Back to the wee man again. Is he going to just be happy enough to take his point? Oh, he's thinking goal. But he thought goal, but maybe he should have put it over the bar from his own point of view. I think you'd be happy enough from a Tearmainn point of view. But again, good movement, and that's probably 2 half goal chances they've created, Naomh Conaill, Emer.
Yeah, and that's it. And I have to say, a fantastic touch there by Jack O'Neill just to hit that into Thomas Cannon's hand. But again, Stephen McDevitt there, he really, really is showing up everywhere around the pitch, and I actually think the Tearmainn defender pushed him forward, giving it more of a head start that time, which he definitely doesn't need. So again, he's really lively, creating so much space for Naomh Conaill at the minute, and they're always a threat when they're going forward.
And them Tearmainn ones wouldn't be fouling. I remember back in my time playing up in Tearmainn. It was a tough place to go to play, but it was very enjoyable at the time. A bit tighter pitch than you have now there and everything else. But anyway, here we go. Keep with the game. Finbar Rorty gives it out to the number 7, Oran Doherty. Every Glenties player, well, 7 is Oran Doherty's. Here they go. They're cooking forward. They have it again, and they're keeping Tiernan Ward. Tiernan Ward just keeping possession, a big man. Here's Max Campbell, and he's going for it. No, Max, that's not going to work unless it breaks inside. It's a dangerous ball, and it could end up. Brilliant defending. I think it's number 7, isn't it? Cormac Brady that got back in there to defend it, and he did really well. And then maybe the number 3, Emmett McGettigan. That was good play, because dangerous ball, but the ball's given away. And try to go for a score in his goodness. And again, it's the midfielder John James Sweeney's back this time. I think that chance fell to. Was it the Mark McDevitt who'd had that half chance? Naomh Conaill men have the ball again, and it's Tiernan Ward. He's going to have a go. That's a great kick. That's a 2-pointer by Tiernan Ward, and his dad was left-footed. I think he's Pat Ward's son. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. I'll say somebody in Naomh Conaill will text me and tell me, but that's a big score. They probably haven't got enough of them 2 points. They're not kicking enough. It just shows you that he's saying what 14 and 13 can do, I can do as well. Great 2-pointer. Again, conditions maybe a wee bit of bearing on it and everything else, but good score. And
a lovely score there by Tiernan Ward as well. And that all started off with Shane Malone's high ball into the square, summer, and again on a good summer's day you might think it's a bad ball, but on a day like today that score really came from that first high ball in, as Tearmainn were under pressure, couldn't clear the ball from their own 21, and inevitably Naomh Conaill got the score from it there. So again, on a day like today, that dangerous ball into the square, there will be a score to come from that yet.
6 points to 2. When the Tearmainn came back to make it 3-2, you saw Naomh Conaill, the way they were able to get the ball, get possession, particularly from the kick out, and work it up the field. And when this Tearmainn have the ball in this kick out, 6 points to 2 in favour of the men from Naomh Conaill. Now there is a strong enough breeze at times, and that did help that kick from Tearmainn Ward, in fairness. But here we go. It's Kieran Cassidy going forward, plays it. It's a brilliant ball inside, and just left the ball behind him, but he still has it. And there's a kick for a score, but it's gone into the goalkeeper's hands. It was Cormac Cassidy, the number 2, who's doesn't seem to be playing well. He's playing. He's one of the players coming forward, wearing to big long kick out, but it's going to be cut out by the men from Tearmainn again. And it's Cormac Brady wearing 7. They've got plenty of players on this side of the field. Jack O'Neill, the man that, as Emer said, got his hands to knock the ball back to the goalie for that goal chance, just about got his hands to it. It's Kieran Cassidy. Kieran Cassidy gives it down to John James Sweeney. John James Sweeney in his back inside, but that just sums up the conditions when you see it there. People that are watching us on thing, and you see there, but Max Campbell, he's left-footed. Finn Barorty's left-footed. It looks like Tearmainn Ward's left-footed, and it looks like Stephen McDevitt's left-footed. A lot of left-footed players in the Naomh Conaill team, but so as we look at the seniors, Kieran Thompson is naturally left-footed as well, and go with balls with Finn Barorty. Going to slow it all down here now. He took that ball back from Shea Malone, and it's gone inside to that man, to Tearmainn Ward again. Tearmainn Ward keeping the ball, gives it out, and they're going to keep possession. Stephen McDevitt. Stephen cuts inside on his left foot. They say good goods come in small packages. We definitely have to say that about that wee man. There you go, just keeping possession, and I think it's Tearmainn Ward going for a second, so it's a dangerous ball in, and it's brilliantly fisted out by the Tearmainn. I think it's the goalkeeper, in fairness. Thomas Cannon got his fist to that there and got it out. Now they're going to work it up the field. Oran Gallagher got a point so far, has Oran, and the ball's played inside. They have it. They need to work it out from there now. These men, and good tackling. In fairness to the Naomh Conaill men, they're getting a lot of bodies in that area, but it's worked out by the Tearmainn men, but it's thrown away. Finn Barorty read it very well. Finn Barorty gives it into Stephen McDevitt. Stephen McDevitt back to Finn Barorty. There's a goal chance here. Here goes. This is going to brilliantly played, and the ball's in the back of the net. And that was just a bad turnover from a Tearmainn point of view, but brilliant, unselfish play the whole way by the Naomh Conaill men, and it was finished to the back. I think it's a Shea Malone that finished the ball to the net. Sorry, he tapped it in. Good goal, well worked. Turnover from a Tearmainn point of view. We talked about a goal, and they got the 2 point earlier. They're 2 big scores, Emer, for the Naomh Conaill men. Yeah, and the Naomh Conaill are putting a very high press on the Tearmainn defenders as they're coming out, and they're just waiting for that, miss bounce or miss pass, and they're going in numbers then, and any one of them really could have scored that goal. Yeah, and it's knocked that ball over the bar. It's gone in again, and another score, I think it's by Tearmainn Ward again, another score. So now they lead by 8. The Naomh Conaill men lead by 8. It's 1-7-2, and I know there's a bit of a breeze there, but do you know what's funny? We talked about the 2 Tearmainn midfielders were doing well in terms of the Naomh Conaill 2 midfielders have come big time. Max Campbell and Finn Barorty, we know the quality, have come into this game. Just shows you a difference it makes, but they really have made the difference this last 5-6 minutes, and they've got them scores.
Yeah, and again, they're not involved in every attack. You can see that one of them is holding and one of them is pressing forward, so it just means that there's someone always fresh for Naomh Conaill. Yeah, again, they get hands on that ball. Shea Malone gives it to Tearmainn Ward. And I just think it's back with Shea Malone, and it's that wee man, Stephen McDevitt. He'll get through, no bother to him. And he kicks the ball into the left foot, and it's just gone wide, and we'll have to say we'll forgive him for that. His conditions don't matter. I remember we James McCartan in my time for down. I think the worse conditions, the better he was. He was rolling over on the ground, he'd be up like a flash, and that wee man's like that. But yeah, it's gone away a bit from Tearmainn at the minute, and but you have to give great credit to the Naomh Conaill men. The Tearmainn got the 2 scores, and you can see the way they got it together on the field and controlled it then. So it's a big lead now. It is a big lead, and now this is when Tearmainn will really feel the heavy pitch, and they'll really feel the conditions now when things aren't going their way. So they have to just settle themselves again, try to regroup. But again, you have to give it to Naomh Conaill. They're playing so well as a unit so far.
They've a lot of very good footballers. You see, like why they won the reserve and the senior championship. And a lot of players. Great credit to all the underage people in the club and to everybody else down to their senior setup and everything. You know, the quality that they have and the way they take through players and the way they coach players and everything else. So here we go. It's I suppose every other clubs have to get to that level if you want to be competing with the likes of them. Tearmainn Ward, and Tiernan's still carrying through. He's got, as I said, another man. He's going to turn on to that favourite left foot and a brilliant block, but it's dangerous inside and as well broken down in there. I think the Tearmainn were lucky, but they're trying to come out with it, but Danny Brown has turned it over, but it's still there and they have it now. Patrick Fagan, can he get out? They're going to get out to Kieran Cassidy. They have it out this time. Kieran Cassidy, 24 minutes on the clock. They're working up the field and they're going to keep possession here, the Tearmainn men. They're like the foot past Tearmainn. Oren Gallagher gives it inside to Shea Boyle. Shea Boyle plays it and it's gone inside to Kieran Cassidy again. Finbar Rorty back tackling him. Cassidy's trying to bust through. Tearmainn think it was a free. The ref says no free, and they're still playing on, but can they get their hands on the ball again? It's going across, but it's brilliantly cut out. I think it's Jack McGlynn that cut it out there in the full back line. Here goes Max Campbell handling a lot of ball, now they're going forward. This is when the Naomh Conaill men, that man Shea Malone, lovely footballer, skillful footballer. Conditions don't matter to skillful footballers. Tried to be stopped if he could by Cormac Cassidy, but he's still going, he's still soloing, and he gives it back to Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt has got, I think it's Max Campbell over on that other side of the field. And no, it's not Max Campbell, sorry, it's number 33. Sorry, it's 33 is Dahi Malloy. Dahi Malloy keeps the ball, and the ball's been held up now, and it's with Mark McDevitt. Said he was joint captain of the under-21 county team this year. Here you go, Danny Brown. Danny Brown gives it back. And they're just going to Niall Rorty, they're just keeping possession. Gives it off to Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt gives it out to Danny Brown. This man can score points too, can Danny Brown. Good tackling by the Naomh Conaill men, but it's back to Mark McDevitt. Now he plays it back to Finbar Rorty. He's the gum shield just sticking out of the mouth. He has it in the mouth. A lot of players have it in the sock, but he has it in the mouth anyway. Here's Max Campbell, and that's a great kick by Max Campbell, and it's just gone wide. But it definitely, Emer, was worth it. So it's worth a chance, you know. Yeah, and especially with that wind, it's worth their while to take those chances whenever they do have a substantial lead. And you know, I think the difference in the two teams at the minute is Glenties are very happy to kick the ball when they're in non-pressure situations, whereas Tearmainn are kicking it when there's defenders really, really very close behind them, and it's causing them to lose possession. Like, I think they need to be more sure of their passes and maybe just use a simple hand pass to keep possession in those situations, because as soon as the ball goes to ground, it can really go anywhere at this point in the game. So they're losing a huge amount of possession doing that, whereas we're not seeing that at the other side of the pitch with Naomh Conaill. Yeah, just that wee bit of probably more experience at the minute. I know they had a great battle even in the senior championship, Tearmainn and Naomh Conaill this year as well. And here goes Oisín Harkin. That's a great ball inside. There's a goal chance on here this time now. Can he finish it? Brilliant save by the goalie. I think it was Owen Brown that got the chance. But what a save. Dylan McGlynn, what a brilliant save. Fantastic, and he really made himself big there whenever he came off, and he really closed out that angle. And again, disappointing for Tearmainn, because a goal at this point in the game could have done a huge amount for their confidence. But they still have possession. Maybe they can make something out of this attack. Yeah, they need a point of this attack. Normally, when you miss a goal, if you can even get a point of it, it wouldn't be too bad. It's gone. They're holding possession. Oisín Harkin has the ball. And Oisín's looking out to man Kieran Cassidy. Fairness, he's coming deep, looking and handling a lot of balls, this man. Kieran's holding on to it. They're keeping. He gives it into 15, which is Shea Boyle. Shea Boyle gives it to Oisín Harkin. Oisín Harkin's going to take Tearmainn Ward on. Still Oisín Harkin. He's still going, Oisín Harkin. He needs runners off his shoulder, I think, as Emer said, but they're not coming off the shoulder. They're standing, taking possession, and to keep possession now, it's with Cormac Brady. Cormac Brady gives it out to his other wing half back, Patrick Fagan back to Kieran Cassidy. Kieran Cassidy trying to break through. Naomh Conaill are brilliant at the way they get in around that D area. They just get the players in around there to stop it. They know against that breeze particularly is going to be impossible for Tearmainn men to kick a 2-pointer from there, but they still have possession of the ball. We're hearing that the hooter could be going next year. That when the hooter goes, sorry, what I'm saying is that when the hooter goes next year, that's the game over. This is what they're saying, Emer. Because I think it's going back to the point that David Clifford's 2 point before half time, the amount of time that they held on to the ball, end of the ball. I think they want to do away with that kind of stuff, seemingly. And they're talking about when the hooter goes, the game's over. Now, I don't think it was, maybe it's going to centre council, but that's the talk anyway, so it'll be interesting.
Well, that's what they have in ladies football at the minute, and to be honest, I think it takes a lot of pressure off referees, because when the game is done, it's done, and there's no argument there. But it could leave a lot of very disappointed fans. That's the only thing. It does take that last bit of excitement out of a match, but there's no complaints when there's a hooter, as you know, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, the only thing I suppose, and I agree with that there, because it does run it down, and there's a wee bit of stuff going on off the ball here, and the Conaill men are not happy, and I don't think there was any wild harm in it. The referee, Andy McCall's over, and I would say will it be.
I think Patrick Fagan could be in a bit of bother there. And I think that's the frustration coming out in the Tearmainn players there. They held possession there for almost 4 minutes, and again, a simple misled hand pass, ball goes to ground, and Naomh Conaill come out with pace again. And you can see the frustration in the Tearmainn players, because they are working hard. They're just not able to capitalise on their attacks at the minute, and for the amount of work they're putting in, they're just really not reaping the rewards of the score. So you can see the frustration coming out there. So I think the Glenties sideline will be a bit annoyed that maybe there wasn't more come out of that.
Yeah, well, I think the referee went with the considering the conditions and everything, and I think it's a sensible decision. A yellow card for Patrick Fagan, but I think it is frustration. Here we go. Shane Malone, this danger man. Shane Malone's going right through. It's another goal chance, and he knocks it wide. He probably had 3 options there: fist it over the bar, drive it low and go for the goal, and he took the other one to drive it very, very hard and kicked it wide. It's not like him, and it's a wee bit of a let-off for Tearmainn, that, Emer.
And that's it, and they'll be glad to see that one just go wide of the goalpost there as well, and they really do need to take a wee opportunity to just take a breath, reset, regroup. Like, I have to say, Oisín Harkin is doing everything he can to make things work for Tearmainn here at the minute, and I just think they're almost playing with a little bit of fear, which they shouldn't. And this game's far from over. As we said, there's a very strong wind there. We know how much conditions can change in a game like this. So if they can just keep themselves in the game, keep the scoreboard ticking, they've every chance in the second half to maybe even things up a wee bit.
Yeah, we've gone the 30 minutes here, 1-7 to 2 points. For the men from Naomh Conaill. The only thing about the second half is the experience of Naomh Conaill. They'll be very good at keeping possession of the ball. But anyway, the first couple of scores in the second half, but we'll see. There'll be any more scores before half time. Looked like Oran Doherty was fouled there, the Naomh Conaill man, but the referee is, considering the conditions and everything else, excuse me, he's trying to let the game go, which is reasonably, you would have to say, fair enough. This man again, Shane Malone, has the ball. And he's carrying it up the field to Shane Malone, and he works it across to the danger man, Stephen McDevitt. They're going to keep, I think it's Tearmainn Ward here, but they give it out to the side of the field. They have plenty of room on this side of the field, and Jamie Byrne, wearing number 26, holding on, gives it to Max Campbell. Max Campbell back to Tearmainn Ward, back to Max Campbell, back Stephen McDevitt, back to the brother, Mark McDevitt, and Mark McDevitt plays it across the field, and they're just going to hold on to possession, hooter or no hooter. Looks like they'll be happy enough. Dahi Malloy wearing 33, and here comes Danny Brown. First time we've seen Danny carrying the ball through, and he's been blowing. A little bit harsh, Emer, for over carrying there, but anyway, it's good defending by the Tearmainn.
Yeah, and it was a brilliant attack as well from Naomh Conaill again, and Danny Brown going at pace there, so he'll feel a bit hard done by there. But Tearmainn really need to get something out of this before they go in at half time, because they're definitely in need of some fresh legs. They do look very tired, so if they can get a wee point on the board now, it would definitely set them up nicely going in at half time.
Now here they go, the men from Tearmainn are going through, and it's Shea Boyle wearing 15, but they hold it up back out to Kieran Cassidy. They're trying to work it through, and it's the full forward that has it now. Oran Gallagher, he's going to keep the ball, knocks it back out to Cormac Brady gives it to Kieran Cassidy. They're trying to work it, and the ball went to ground, and they're maybe a wee bit lucky not to be blown for picking the ball out to Oisín Harkin, who's handled a lot of it. Here goes Oisín going. Oh, he tried with the outside of the boot. The idea was good, Oisín, but just didn't catch it right. Now Naomh Conaill will turn it over, and they'll keep possession. It's Finn Barorty wearing 29. And they'll just work the ball up the field like they do. Brilliant hand passing, not going to ground. And they don't have to put it to ground. And they keep Niall Rorty, and they're going to just keep possession of the ball. There it is, half time. Mark McDevitt, just the last man on the ball, who had a very good first half. Scoreline, Naomh Conaill 1-7, Tearmainn 2 points. Now there is a strong breeze in the second half, but at maybe for 10 minutes Tearmainn controlled the game and did well, but Naomh Conaill really had the better. They could be further ahead. They had a couple other goal chances and everything else, and with the likes of, you know, Max Campbell, Finn Barodi, particularly in the middle of the field, doing well. Now Dylan McGlynn made a very good save at an important stage too, and then you have Shane Malone, Steve McDevitt, Tiernan Ward, the three of them. None of the three of them may be playing inside, even though they're wearing 13, 14 and 15, but coming out the field. So Emer, I know you're a Tearmainn person yourself. It's a big second half for Tearmainn now, and they're going to need a good start to the second half.
Yeah, and I think, as I said a wee bit earlier, they are definitely playing with a bit of fear. They're sort of holding back, not taking on those runs that maybe we would so usually see them doing. And I see Oisín Harkin there, like he really is involved in every attack, involved in every piece of defensive work, and he can't do it by himself. So I think maybe they'll go in now at half time, they'll know that they have nothing to lose, and maybe in the second half we'll see more of what we usually see from some of these players, possibly some fresh legs. I have to say they did look very tired there towards the end of that first half, but from a Glenty's perspective, you have to say they're doing everything in such a controlled manner. They're not putting the ball to the ground, they're playing the ball very safely through the hands, and they're reaping the rewards from that as well, as you can see from the scoreboard too. So that experience is definitely standing to them, and we know how much of a second half team they are as well, so I think they'll go in very happy now at the end of this half.
Yeah, the Naomh Conaill management team meeting down here below us, 6 of them down here below us. See Liam McClune with them as well, and Michael O'Malley, who's the manager as well. But they always have a lot of the senior players involved with all these underage teams. The Tearmainn management team down to our left, you know, it's less. You know, the conditions are terrible here. It's pouring rain now, in fairness. Fair play to the Glenswally club for making the field available and everything else, and stood up reasonably well and everything else, considering everything. It's tough conditions for both for teams to play on. It's a great credit to everybody that the game's going ahead. Now remember, whoever wins this will play 4 Masters in the final. They won the first semi-final today with a scoreline of 15 points to 2-2 to the Glenswally men, 15 points for Masters. So at the minute it looks like it's going to be an all blue and white county final with the Naomh Conaill men winning here, but you never know. With the new rules and everything else, the game can change in the second half, so we'll be back in plenty of time here for the second half. So as I said, we hand you back to the studio here from here. As I said, we'll get a cup of tea here. The Glenswally ones are always very good making tea and everything else. It's 1-7 Naomh Conaill, 2 points for Tearmainn at half time, and we'll get a nice warm cup of tea because we all need it here. Back to the studio. As I said, we'll be back in plenty of time for the second half, and hopefully we've plenty of light. On the 21 team that's gone through. It looks like steps there, but for Shane Malone, he was looking for it. He turns on to the right foot, and we know accurate Shane Malone. Shane Malone, good foot pass by Shane Malone, and to number 13, Stephen McDevitt, and he goes for a brilliant score, and that's a 1-pointer over again. And this is dangerous, isn't that wee man, Stephen McDevitt? He loves that left foot. He cuts inside. This is very good play by McDevitt, and that's a great score by McDevitt. That's the second point, and he's got his midfield partner on this side of the field, John James Sweeney. Now he goes long. There's a great ball in. Brilliant, great chance of a score here. It's gone in and it's gone over the bar, and it's Oisín Harkin, and they're going to keep carrying the ball to this side of the field. So they're Owen Gallagher inside to John James Sweeney. He's through, and he's got an easy chance of a score here, and he knocks it over the bar. Held on by Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt gives to Finn Barodi. He thought about it. He was lucky not to be blown for steps. He gives in to Shane Malone. This is danger. There's a goal chance here, and he knocked it over the bar. Was it Mark McDevitt who'd had that half chance? Naomh Conaill men have the ball again, and it's Tiernan Ward. He's going to go. That's a great kick. That's a 2-pointer by Tiernan Ward. But it's worked out for the Tearmainn men, but it's thrown away. Finn Barodi read it very well. Finn Barodi gives it into Stephen McDevitt. Stephen McDevitt back to Finn Barodi. There's a goal chance here. Here goes. This is going to brilliantly played, and the ball's in the back of the net. And
you know, miss bounce or miss pass, and they're going in numbers then, and any one of them really could have scored that goal.
And knocked that ball over the bar. It's gone in again, and another this year as well. And here goes Oisín Harkin. That's a great ball inside. There's a goal chance on here this time now. Can he finish it? Brilliant save by the goalie. I think it was Owen Brown that got the chance.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Serving Donegal since 1983, Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies is your one-stop shop for bathrooms, heating and renewable energy solutions. Visit our showroom for quality products, expert advice and friendly local service. Proudly part of the Shop Local gift card scheme. Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies. 40 years of quality, service and trust.
Welcome back here to Parkneave Clumba and Glenswally. We're just ready to go for the second half, and Rory McGrenna has come on and the Tearmainn team at half time, and that's the only change we think there's been made. He's come on wearing 27 instead of Owen Brown, who picked up that injury in the first half. So here's the Conaill men have it 1-7 to 2 points at half time. The scorings: Finbar Rorty, he's kicked the ball away, and I think it'll be picked up. The ball's gone to ground, yes, and Stephen McDevitt made a foul. But here come the men from Tearmainn now. They need an early score from their own point for you. Evan McKeown wearing 13. He'll hold on to the ball. He gives it inside to Kieran Cassidy, the danger man. He tried to chip it up, and he did well to get his foot to it, to get it inside to Evan McKeown. It's gone to Oisín Harkin. Their best player in the first half was Oisín Harkin. Gives it out to the man picked up a yellow card, Patrick Fagan wearing 5. They keep trying to work it in. There's a brilliant ball inside now. There's back inside of Patrick Fagan. Will he go for a score? He's going for a goal, and he finishes at the back of the net. What a start, Emer, for the Tearmainn. We talked about they needed a good start, and there's a Tearmainn player down injured. Is it Patrick Fagan is down injured? But it was nearly like the Shane Malone chance the first half, and he went and kicked it actually wide, where he kept it down the deck. Big score, 1-7 to 1-2. Patrick Fagan still injured, but that was a brilliant move up the field. Very well worked from one side of the field to the other, and Patrick Fagan was involved in it, 3 times maybe before he finishes the net.
Exactly, and that's not the first time we saw Patrick Fagan score a goal like that. You know, he was a regular goal scorer for the senior team this year, and especially in times when a goal was very much needed, and that's the perfect start for Tearmainn. A goal was needed, and you know, who else to stand up and get that but Patrick Fagan? But you know, that'll give them such a confidence boost now. You know, we'll see them possibly with a high press with that wind, and if Tearmainn can get another few scores on the board, you know, the game will be back on. But there's a big mountain to climb for them at the minute. Yeah,
you know, sometimes the momentum is good right after score. You want to get the ball back out to play, but Patrick Fagan picked up a knock just as he kicked the ball, and Anthony McCullough, the referee, is in round him, and it's getting a wee bit darker, and it looks like he's going to have to go off. Actually, are they calling for a stretcher? Looks like they're calling for a stretcher. Emer, hopefully he's okay, and it looks like just he's still on the ground, and I think they're looking for a stretcher, so it'll be disappointing for himself. And he's okay. They're taking on a sub here now down below, so the referee telling one of the Tearmainn management team to move away, and they're going to play on, and it's number 23. Emer, if you know who that is.
I can't even see there in front of me, but I do know for Tearmainn, like, they're very lucky that they do have a strong bench. You know, the likes of Owen Gallagher, Michael Boyle, the 2 Conahans, and Kieran and Rory, Keelan Curran, Nathan Grant. You know, a few players that have been regular features for the under-21 so far this year. So they do have strength and depth in the panel, and you know, hopefully it won't change the setup of the team too much with bringing someone else in.
Yeah, and the game's going to go ahead, and long kick out with this Conaill men brilliantly caught in the middle of it. Now it's getting a wee bit dark. It's gone to Max Campbell to the left foot. He tries it inside, but it's cut out by number 27, who's Daniel Quigley. 27 for Tearmainn as Rory McGrenna came on at half time. Sorry, just mixed up. Here goes to Kieran Cassidy, and they're holding on to the ball. Gives it inside to Owen Brown, and they've blown him for over carrying the ball, and there's worked up the field, and they've Conaill coming. There's a danger chance here. Shane Malone gives it inside to that danger man Ward, and it's a brilliant save by the Tearmainn keeper. It's just a great save by the Tearmainn goalkeeper and Thomas Cannon, and that was a save important. The ball worked up the field, and I think it was Tiernan Ward at that chance. Could have been a goal at the other end, and we just looked down. Patrick Fagan is still being treated down the other end. Emer.
Yeah, and Stephen McDevitt once again did so well there with the solo and go. Just moved the ball very quickly, creating a very dangerous threat for Naomh Conaill. So he's a hard man to watch today for sure.
Again, the referee's blown Tearmainn twice, I think, for over carrying the ball, and the Tearmainn supporters on the other side of the field are not happy at all. Number 23 is John Cannon that came in to the game for the Tearmainn men, so he's in around the middle of the field. He came in instead of Patrick Fagan. We'll carry on with the play, because there's, you know, when you have the play under the stand over there with the big crowd, the crowd get excited. It's always the way it used to be around getting close to Christmas. And again, there's a free out this time for Tearmainn, and it's going to be taken by Cormac Gallagher. Yeah. And they're keeping possession of the ball. It's 1-7 to 1-2, and we've gone there are 5 points in it at the minute, and they're keeping the balls worked out to this side of the field, and It's that man McGrenra, number 27, wearing 27, Rory McGrenra, and he's holding on to possession. They work it out. It's very tight down the sideline. There's going to be a knock, but a very good play by Evan McKeown and McGrenra inside. The two of them are they're brilliant defending by the Naomh Conaill men, and they were always going to turn. Shea Boyle had the ball, but it's gone out for a 45. So a 45. Patrick Fagan still getting treatment. You probably see it on the camera there, where he's picked up the treatment right beside the umpire in their goal. So it looks like he maybe will come back. The linesman was out beside Oisín. They were telling him where to put the ball down. Oisín put the ball down so quick and kicked it, but it's kicked straight to a Naomh Conaill man, and it's turned over by the Naomh Conaill man. It's this wee man, he's down below us this time, Stephen McDevitt. Great legs under him. He gives it to the other corner for Tearmainn Ward. Inside towards Danny Brown's going inside. This ball's going to break for Max Campbell. But it's great defending by, I think it's Jack O'Neill. Jack O'Neill did really well. And the ball's out here with Cormac Brady. Cormac Brady coming soloing out the field. Yeah, his jersey been pulled. The ref didn't see it. It's gone to Rory McGrenra, who's handled a lot of balls since he came on. And he gives it into another man that's handled the ball, Oisín Harkin. And they're going to work it out with Cormac Gallagher. Back to Oisín Harkin. And he's got men on the side of the field. He gives it to Kieran Cassidy. They're the big names for the men from Tearmainn. Here goes Kieran Cassidy, carrying the ball well. Gives it to Rory McGrenra, who's come off the bench. He was injured. Looks like he would have been good enough to start, but he's just throwing that ball away, and that's definitely a foul. There's no doubt about it. I think it was number 33 was fouled. Dahi Malloy just picked up that knock, and haven't had on from the goal. They needed a couple of scores really after the goal. I know the injury made to Patrick Fagan made a difference everything else, but Naomh Conaill again have settled well since the goal.
Yeah, and that's always a sign of a good team, that they can settle themselves again and recover after a big score like that. And I guess the injury came at a bad time for Tearmainn whenever that wee bit of momentum was with them. But again, things they had done so well there at the start of the second half, moving the ball quick, moving the ball through the hands, and one missed pass there and the ball goes to ground again, and the ball is back in the Naomh Conaill possession. So again, when Tearmainn do things well, they do it very well, but it's really, really hard to get past the experience in Naomh Conaill at the minute.
Yeah, Patrick Fagan's going to be like Wally Joe Patton. Older people remember him coming on an All-Ireland final with a big bandage on top of the head. It's a blood sub, and he's going to have the bandage. He's getting ready to come back onto the field. He just got injured when he scored a brilliant goal to make it 1-7 to 1-2. Here goes the men from Naomh Conaill. Shea Malone, ball go to ground. He chips it up brilliantly, chipped up. The right thing to do in these conditions. Mark McDevitt to Finbar Rorty. They will keep possession of the ball and they'll take their time. Finbar looking about it, gives it to Shea Malone. Shea Malone bounces the ball. They're going to just keep possession. The Naomh Conaill men knocking it about to Max Campbell on the side of the field. Left-footed Max Campbell soloing, push forward. They're just just keeping the ball, and that's what they really want to do. And they keep Dahi Malloy just had it at him, give it back to Finbar Rorty, back to Dahi Malloy, on to Mark McDevitt. And they just know how to keep the ball, as they say. And it's out this side of the field now, and it's gone out to Max Campbell again. He's left foot. He did try a 2-point to the first half. Gives it into Stephen McDevitt. Stephen McDevitt go busting through, bounces the ball. He's going to have to try to give it back. He does, gives it back. It's on the ground. Doesn't bounce up. Max Campbell wanted it to bounce up, but didn't bounce up. He still has the ball, and they've won a free right down beside the scoreboard here down below us. And Finbar Rorty wants it kicked short back down here, and they're not going to do that yet. They're taking their time, and I just have to go out a wee bit here to see it, and looking like it's that man Tearmainn Ward's going to have a crack at it from right out there. He bounced it once, twice. Here he comes, and could land in around the house anyway. Dangerous kick to the left foot. That's a brave kick, but it looks like it's gone over the bar. What a kick! What a score. He scored a brilliant 2-pointer the first half, and he's kicked a fabulous point there, Emer. He was right down in the corner. That's 1-8 to 1-2, but what a score. What
a score, and I think Tearmainn Ward's going to be giving Martin Regan some food for thought there. He's had a super performance so far, and really scoring from impossible angles on a day and conditions like this. So he'll be very happy with his performance so far and the mighty scores he's got.
Yeah, it's a brilliant sum. The 2-pointer of the first half, and he went. I mean, the confidence he had, even the manager management team, I think, were telling him to go short. I think everybody was saying going short. It's nearly like the famous goal Scotland scored during the week. I think the management was telling him to go to the corner flag with it, and he chipped the goalkeeper from the middle of the field. So I think it was the same thing there. Your man didn't listen to the management, and he knew what he was doing better. So here you go, Finbar Rorty busting forward, and here comes his midfield partner, Max Campbell. Took a lot of steps. Have your right foot, Max? Don't need one. Inside, this is a goal chance, and just goes out wide. Dahi Malloy, I think it was coming through, and that was good movement now by them. They've taken control since the Tearmainn goal. It just shows you how good they are to settle it down and then get the right players in the ball. And the two players we're talking about, Finbar Rorty again and Max Campbell, controlling it from that midfield area.
Exactly, and if that ball had gone into the back of the net, it really would have been the score of the day. Just they're really hunting in packs as a defensive unit, turning over that ball between Max and Finbar themselves to get the ball inside there to Dahi. It was really a brilliant. It would have been a brilliant team score. So again, disappointing for them that one didn't go into the back of the net.
Yeah, Dahi Malloy has had a very good second half. So a good game through, but he's had a very good second half. Wearing 33. And this ball into another man's playing well, Stephen McDevitt. He's holding on. They're trying to get the ball away, but it's not easy getting the ball out. Oran Doherty's battling for it on the ground, but the Tearmainn men have it. They've lost it. They have it. And still trying to get out to this Emmett McGett again, the fullback. They need to get out of that corner because they're going to be in bother. Cormac Brady. They need to work it across the field. You can't kick it back to the goalie, and that's probably all Oisin Harkin could do, was thump it out the field. And they're going to get possession of the ball. I think they are. And it's 14 Oran Gallagher. He's got the orange boots, the same as Finbar Rorty on him. Brilliant ball into Kieran Cassidy. What a turn by Cassidy. Very good. He's going to carry. He looks like he was fouled, but the ref's giving him a half advantage, but he needs to give the ball away or he's going to get caught in possession of the ball. That's great tackling by Finbar Rorty, and unlucky to be given a free against him, but very good tackling.
Yeah, and it did look like Kieran Cassidy should have got a free a bit earlier than that for a tug in the jersey, so they'll be relieved now that they did finally get a free at the end of that movement.
Yeah, it's a free, and taking their time. I think they're calling up Oisin Harkin. They're calling up Oisin Harkin to take the free, and will he kick the seamer?
I don't know if he'll get the distance on this now, so hopefully there'll be a bit of movement inside there that they can get something out of this. But it is a big kick on very tired legs, so got to be very impressed now if this one goes over the bar.
Just got a wee cup of tea and everything here, and just to keep the voice going. And here he goes. This is a big kick, but it looks like it's not going to make it. It's going to drop short, and it could end up on the back of the net. And it's half a chance, but it's brilliantly saved in there. And it's still going on in there, and the ref standing out looking in at it. The two umpires are happy enough, and they've Conaill men come out with it. It's gone out for a 45, but we'd need good eyesight from here to see what went on there. But it was definitely a half goal chance when it broke down. I think it was the full forward Oran Gallagher that had the shot for the goal, Emer, and it was could have ended up in the net. Just shows you what you were saying earlier on. Any kind of a ball in there is a dangerous ball today.
And that's it, and I think that's what Tearmainn are going to nearly have to do at this stage. Like there is a growing gap there in the scores between the two teams, and they just have to take a chance.
They're going to attacking again, and they've another chance. They're brilliantly blocked. Cormac Gallagher was forward, took the ball from Oisin Harkin, the pass, but brilliantly blocked by the Naomh Conaill men, and they're coming out, they're trying to come out, and they were fouled but no free, and the ref's letting it go, I suppose. Fair enough. And now he's giving a free out to Naomh Conaill men, and Finbar Rorty picks the ball up, and Finbar's not happy. I think the gum shield nearly fell out of his mouth there. Yeah, he's gone down to pick it up and clean it and get it back in. He's going to go to take the ball, and it's worked out to the side of the field. Not the best of a pass. Niall Rorty will be going out, but Niall Rorty does well to go down on it because he got the free. Niall needs to get it out of there, but brilliant block, and again I think it's and it's a free now for the Tearmainn men. But I think it was Shea Boyle or something. No, it was 13 actually. Evan McKeown made a very good tackle there, and Tearmainn had white togs on, and they've gone to the start. They all have black togs on them now. Anyway, they're with the dirt. We normally very seldom with the pitches and the condition of pitches do we see this anymore. But
yeah, if the ball goes to ground at all today, it's straight away a 50-50 ball. You can see that even from the Naomh Conaill perspective there. A simple pass, the ball just sticks, and all of a sudden Tearmainn have a chance to get hands on that ball again. So again, as the game goes on, Tearmainn really just have to take a few chances and maybe put the 50-50 ball inside and see what they can get out of it.
Just say hello to Grace Boyle, the county treasurer, who's listening to us in Dubai, loud and clear. She's telling us in Dubai, so that's great. I know we all over the world, so it's great for Grace on her holidays. I would say it's a lot better weather, Grace, in Dubai than it is here. But anyway, here we go. Oisin Harkin with the ball, holding on to it, is giving it to Cormac Brady. Cormac Brady again, very strong half back line, big strong players. The three of them are very, very strong. They're trying to get a ball inside Oran Gallagher for the goal chance, but the pass had to go to hands. Emer really for any chance for that there, and just went to ground and ran out wide for a kick out.
Yeah, and I actually think that was a bit of miscommunication there. I actually think that ball was intended for Oran Gallagher that was inside at number 14 there, but again, as soon as the ball goes to ground, it's really anyone's ball at that stage.
Yeah. We've gone 14 minutes into the second half, and 14 minutes into the second half, and we hadn't had much score. We had a big score, was the Patrick Fagan goal, but we had a great score then from Tearmainn Ward from a free right down in the corner. I know it was on his foot, but I think Naomh Conaill will still be happy. It's Kieran Cassidy, looks like he's fouled, and there's play on now. It's 1-8 to 1-2, 6-point game. The ball's where Finbar Rorty is on the ground again, and the ball was touching the ground, but no, Finbar, you can't do that. You're told to go back to the right place. And Tearmainn just making a lot of silly mistakes at the minute. Here goes the men from Naomh Conaill, and it's Oran Doherty wearing number 7. Again, looks like he's left-footed. Back into Shea Malone. Shea cuts inside Kieran Cassidy. Shea Malone still carrying. Very good when he goes like this. He's very dangerous. Gives it to Oran Doherty. Oran Doherty, they've been working inside to Danny Brown. Danny Brown cuts inside. Looks like Danny was fouled, but the ref says no, and he gives it inside to Stephen McDevitt, and Stephen McDevitt knocks over a brilliant score. That was a brilliant score. 1-9 to 1-2, but I think that's the difference in the two teams. Their handling is better. We saw where Tearmainn's handling was bad at the other end. Half goal chance not got there, where they worked it up brilliantly. Oran Doherty, that him Shea Malone, and then into that wee man Stephen McDevitt, and a brilliant score with the left foot. A
fantastic score, and again from an Naomh Conaill perspective, they're getting up as far as the 45. They're taking the pace out of the game, but then when they decide to go, they all go at pace. And who else with Stephen McDevitt with the pace that he has, turning very well and selling the player and just making the angle easier for himself, but he's had a super game today.
That's brilliant. Jackie Shane just winning that ball brilliantly and picking up a foul. Now Tearmainn, I think they've lost their shape a wee bit. We talk about in the first half as well. They need to keep their shape. What about 16 minutes into this second half? Another yellow card. I think it's Oran Gallagher picked up that yellow card there, but it is getting a wee bit dark here and everything else, so probably the 30s that be here wouldn't want extra time. I would say it would be very hard to play extra time. But it goes up towards, great ball to Danny Brown. Max Campbell ran off him, and Max is still there, but Danny looks like he didn't pick up a knock. He's still holding on to the ball, and it's back to Danny Brown, and they're just keeping possession of the ball, and they're just going to keep it and hold on to it. Finbar Rorty has it on this side. Finbar Rorty carrying it with the left foot up the side here, and it's gone to Stephen McDevitt, and still Stephen McDevitt keeping the ball. Sorry, it was Mark McDevitt, the brother. Sorry, and they're going to work it right across, just keeping possession. Work it as Jack McGlynn there, working the ball across the field to Tearmainn Ward. Tearmainn has possession of the ball. He's carrying, and he goes with that left foot. That's a dangerous ball across the goals, and it's flicked. That was a brilliant, in fairness, a very good save by the goalie. It was Jamie Byrne was in there. He's a big man, got a great hand to it from the Naomh Conaill, but it's turned over, and it's a great chance for the Naomh Conaill men. And he just went to ground at the wrong time, and the D was right. I think it was Danny Brown that touched the ball on the ground there. But here come Tearmainn working it, trying to work it out the field. Back to Oisin Harkin. He's dropped very deep the second half. Oisin Harkin. He's trying to control the game from back there, and so they have possession. They're holding on to possession. It's John James Sweeney, but he was fouled, and then Anthony McCulloch says take the free back to where it was. It's taken quickly across the field. It's with Cormac Brady. Cormac Brady gives it to Kieran Cassidy. Kieran Cassidy carrying up the centre, but the centre's not easy to carry up the centre. They've lost it again, going forward, handling bad. Here comes the Naomh Conaill men, and it's that man, Dahi Malloy. And this man's, but he gets it brilliantly played by Max Campbell to get the ball out of there, and they've won it. They've won it with sheer gut, and it's young Rorty who done it. Niall Rorty did well. Here goes, this man's going for goal. Shea Malone, he's going for goal and he hits it, but he knocks it over the bar. It's probably as good as a goal now, but again, that's the difference in the two teams. Turnover, work and lose the ball, working back, and then good hands and brilliant finish.
And that's it. Naomh Conaill are making those connections so easily and so seamlessly as they're going off the pitch. Like we saw there, a brilliant run by Kieran Cassidy. Making a good attempt there with an off-the-shoulder pass, but just the connection wasn't there. Ball goes to ground. Naomh Conaill are the first in and come out with the ball at the end of it. And they're coming out of those tackles very strong. And you see the pace then that they're attacking at the other end of the pitch. And again, as you said there, a very good point that's as good as a goal at this stage in the match.
Yeah, here we go. There's subs coming on here below us for the men from Rory Conaill is one of the players coming on down below us. Very young lads. They're two very young lads coming on, 20. One of them wearing 20 and one wearing 30, and they're in now anyway. And I think it's Owen Geller's one of the players gone off. So they're probably looking at maybe these players that could get a goal for them. This is Rory Conaill has gone inside there into the full forward line, right inside. So we'll go on with the play. Just 20 minutes into the second half, 10 minutes to go. Ball's broken down, the ball's picked up and blowing for overcarry and Stephen McDevitt. There weren't much you could do. Probably the only disadvantage of being a small man, you couldn't get out. And then the Conaill management not happy down below us here with that there, but it's definitely a free. Finbar rotated his hands round the cornerback Cormac Cassidy. And
he lined him up very nicely there anyway.
And again, there's a bad kick in again by the Tearmainn, and it's cut out by Niall Rorty. He's not a bad player either, and I think another man with a left foot too, and a good ball up to another man with a left foot. This whole Glenties team are left footed. Oran Doherty gives it up towards Danny Brown. Can he chip it up on the run here? Oh, look at that, brilliant chip up by Danny Brown, lays it off. This is danger, this is big danger. It's Oran Doherty again, inside to Danny Brown, and Danny Brown knocks it over the bar, and I think with his performance today he deserved that score, Danny Brown. That's 111 to 1-2 is the score now. Declan Goller just keeping the score here beside me. It's 111 to 1-2, and it looks like it's game over, Emer.
And that's it. And from Danny Brown's point of view there, that's such a fantastic individual score. From winning his own ball there, the lovely chip up off the ground. Really driving on with serious pace and simply slotting that one over the bar as well. And those are the things that are clicking for Naomh Conaill today that just haven't clicked for Tearmainn. They're finding it very hard to retain possession. Any ball that goes to ground, they aren't winning those 50-50 battles, and I do think Glenties' experience is seeing them through at this stage of the match. Yeah, exactly. But it's been, and we'll talk about it hopefully later, a great year for Tearmainn. They've had a brilliant year and they're doing all the right things at underage level, and their players shouting here about did the linesman see it? This famous breach, is it? Yeah. So it's going to be Tearmainn a free in. Is it up at the other end? Andy McCullough's chatting to his linesman down here below us, I think. And the one thing with these breaches, the management team are going to let the linesman know and put the pressure on. And it looks like it's going to be an easy tap over the bar for Naomh Conaill. That just sums up Tearmainn's day, really, isn't it? Yeah, and that's it as well. And whenever Tearmainn seems to be getting a small bit of momentum, there's always a blow at the other side of the pitch, and I guess that was just a bit of a lack of communication between the defence there, that maybe they're all trying to get forward to create something, but no, in fairness, it was a fair breach there, and I don't think Naomh Conaill will have any bother putting this one over the bar. Yeah, just see Mark McDevitt coming out here and telling the management team something about it. That Shea Malone has got another score, so it's 112 now to 1-2, and it looks easy enough now at the minute. So it looks like it's going to be in Naomh Conaill 2 weeks' time. I think it is Naomh Conaill versus Four Masters. In fairness, two of the teams that are really putting in brilliant work at underage and really are dominating underage, the two of them. So it'll be a good final, and I know probably Four Masters will go into that final as favourites, but this Naomh Conaill team, with the players they have and the ability they have and everything else, they're going to. It really is. Hopefully, it's a good day, Emer, because it should be a very, very good final. Yeah, for sure. Two very pacey teams with great standout forwards as well, and we've seen how well both teams have performed so far in this championship. So you're right. right. I think it would be a very hard to call final, and who knows who could come out as winners of that.
Yeah, we'll just carry on as Tearmainn has the ball. There too. Naomh Conaill subs going on down below us here, and number 17, who is Daniel Breslin, and number 23 is Conor Kildare. So they have a big squad of players. Naomh Conaill and sums up again. They've turned over the ball and they've won their free out. And suppose the players you mentioned at the start that Tearmainn are missing. I know Cian McMenamin would have a big future, but the other players as well would. You just can't afford to lose players, especially the further on you go in a competition, Emer.
And that's it, and especially at under 21 level, like they would be the older players there in the team, filling those central positions as well. And we know how strong and influential the Cian McMenamin is, but the other two boys are equally as important to this team too. So very bright prospects for Tearmainn in the future. As you said, they've had a brilliant year and it's all very positive. Glenties have such a well-established history. We're only trying to compete with teams like that, so they've done the club proud so far. I know the game's not over just yet, but they've had a great season, and the future's very bright for Tearmainn.
There's a big high dangers ball in, and the goalkeeper did really well there, and I can hear the Naomh Conaill crowd are happy. Dylan McGlynn just fists it straight out the field, but just the Glenties men have it, or the Tearmainn men have it. Watching Harkin, what a cut out by Finbar Rorty. Here goes, and that's a heavy tackle on Finbar, but he's made it tough stuff and he just gets up. It was a good tackle from the Tearmainn's point of view to stop him going forward, and just got the free. It's out to Tiernan Ward, must be one of the men in the line for man of the match, along with Stephen McDevitt, along with Max Campbell, Finbar Rorty. We could name a lot of these boys, a lot of this Naomh Conaill team, but they've been all stand-up player. Another man, Mark McDevitt, works hard, works his socks off, puts in a big shift, always a big shift. Jack McGlynn gives it up here to Stephen McDevitt. He's told to carry. White boots Stephen back to Jack McGlynn, and across it's Shane Malone coming right out the field, and Shane Malone keeping the ball, holding on to possession. Shane Malone, I said we'll see a lot more, I think, this next year. Shane Malone, ball played out to Mark McDevitt. They're just keeping possession, they're good at it. They can't go back because Jack McGlynn busting right through, and he's going right up the field, and he gives it inside to Max Campbell, inside to his midfield partner Finbar Rorty. Finbar Rorty shoots a goal, and Finbar Rorty, we're saying naturally left-footed, likes doing most things the left foot, but just saying I have a right foot as well, and what a score. But again, Max Campbell giving the ball, but brilliant play by all the Naomh Conaill players out in front. Held on, and got the player going through the centre. That sums up the difference in the two teams here today. But he was going for a point, I think. But
I don't know. I think
what a score. I
think in the last 5 minutes alone, you've really seen the influence of Finbar Rorty. He cut out two huge balls there in the Glenties defence. He's been surging forward, he's been testing the Tearmainn players. He timed his run perfectly there with a overhead pass just straight into him, and I suppose what a great finish for him with it being in the back of the net. So we all know his potential and his ability, and he's just showcasing it here very much so today as well.
They're just, as they say, Neil Murrahart, was either running down the bench now, the Naomh Conaill men. They're just happy enough that they've won the match and taken off important players that maybe some of them. Stephen McDevitt's come off, and he's had a very, very big match, and as I said, they're just taking off 3 or 4. Looks like Jack O'Neill's coming off here too below us. They're just giving players game time and everything else. So, and they'll be very happy. As I said, they're happy with their day's work, and they don't want to pick up any injuries or any red cards or anything silly now from now. There's only a couple of minutes left in this game now. Here goes out to Kieran Cassidy. Kieran Cassidy crossing the halfway line is Kieran Cassidy, still going, carrying. And so Tearmainn have only got the goal in the second half, isn't that right? That's all. It's a player down off the ball here, whatever's going on off the ball, and Jack O'Neill's right standing beside him. It looks like it's Tiernan Ward. They got picked up the knock. The referee's checking with he's up, he's okay. He's not happy with the linesman down below us here, Tiernan, but he seems to be okay. Here comes the referees coming down to have a word, and what do we say, about 3 minutes left, I think, and 2 minutes left. Sinead has a watch here beside us, Sinead Breen, and she says there's 2 minutes left, so from a Naomh Conaill point of view, they don't need any lesson, and I think it's important from Tearmainn as well to keep their shape and keep their discipline. And you know, as I said, they had a good year. It didn't go well today, but he's sent off. Straight red card. Is it Oisín Harkin? Straight red card. I didn't see it. It happened off the ball down below us, but we just talked about it. And he's been probably Tearmainn's best player today.
He has, and I guess maybe, you know, obviously there's no excuse for anyone hitting off the ball, but he really has put in a huge performance to himself. Maybe a lot of frustration is creeping in. You know, it's been a big season for them. This was a big goal for them as well, the Under-21 Championship, so maybe coming from a bit of frustration there.
Yeah, it's totally frustration, and I would just know, looking at him there, he's not a dirty player. Would Oisín Harkin be, but he just must have him and Dylan Ward, or Tearmainn Ward, sorry, had just run into each other anyway. But anyway, the good thing is that Tearmainn Ward's up and going on okay, so from a Naomh Conaill point of view is good. So it's a free for the Naomh Conaill men. They're just winding down the clock now this stage. Mark McDevitt kicks it back, and they're just holding on to the ball here now, and they're going to try to keep possession with Thomas McDevitt wearing 6, and they're happy enough to move the ball around. Jack McGlynn, who's had a good game, and it goes back inside to Finbar Rorty. Rorty gives it to Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt back to Finbar Rorty. Rorty gives a little fisted pass right up the field to Dahi Malloy. Dahi Malloy, and down. You can hear the Naomh Conaill men telling him to go down, and he went down, in fairness to him. He's but the ball's been turned over, but it's picked up. Look at this by Shea Malone. Looks like he's been fouled. Ref says play away. Shea cuts. He gets through, no problem. His men will just keep possession of the ball, and it's good tackling, in fairness, by Kieran Cassidy, who's really tried hard. Kieran Cassidy, he's a nice footballer. Emery looks like we'll hear more of him down the road for Tearmainn, and maybe even at a higher level. Looking at him, like, he's only a young lad yet.
For sure, and you know, I think he's been one of Tearmainn's brightest talents this year. He's been unbelievable to watch. He has serious pace, and I think he'd be a thorn in the side of any defence. And I think, you know, the senior team have been delighted to have them as part of their ranks this year. And as you said, a very bright future. There's actually 4 of the Cassidy boys, and all of them have been competing for Tearmainn at senior level. So I think they'll be well represented in the senior team in the years to come.
Yeah, 2 more subs coming on. 2 boys that were named to start on the team, but Mark Gavigan and Sean Doherty are coming on down here wearing 5 and 12 below us, and I think Danny Brown's one of the players coming off, and Jackie Shen is the other player coming off down below us here, and both of them had big matches, and so here we go. It's just waiting, and he's going to kick it in high, but what a block down by the Naomh Conaill. They're not. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard is. They're going to do it. And Owen Gallagher going forward here. They're going to keep attacking. They just don't mind the scoreboard or anything. And Mark McDevitt, and he's handled a lot of ball. He's really the playmaker, and it's funny that he came out to talk to the management even. So I don't know if he captained the team or not, but he definitely does a lot of the dictating of the game on the field. And here they go. They're attacking the men from Naomh Conaill, but just, as I say, she's winding down at this stage, and it's Tearmainn Ward gives it to Jack McGlynn. They give it up to Sean Doherty up here. He's right up there, right beside the Naomh Conaill sideline, inside to Tearmainn Ward. Tearmainn Ward kicks it across the field. I thought he was going to go for a score. No, he gives it to Thomas McDevitt. Where number 6, Thomas McDevitt, gives it to Mark McDevitt. And they're just going to keep possession of the ball, and that's a great kick, but it's gone wide from Shea Malone. Just gone out to the right and wide, and we just got enough light to play the game, which was, have another one earlier on as well. It worked out okay and everything else. So I think the big thing is if we can just, I think, get a good day for a final. I think we could have a brilliant final. We have the 2 best, underage teams that have been there knocking on the door a long time, and a lot of them have played senior football as well. So we're, I know it's under 21, different to county under 20, and it really is a game we'd look forward to, Emer.
Yeah, and as you said, both teams that have huge experience at senior level now as well, and you can really see the physicality of some of those players here today. Obviously the likes of Finn Barworty himself, but Max Campbell, Shea Malone, they're really holding their own whenever it comes to the 1v1 battles, and it'll be a really interesting battle then to see those key stars from Four Masters, taking their heads at Glenties then as well.
Yeah, it's just the final whistle's gone here, so 2-12 to 1-2 favouring Naomh Conaill. So they'll look forward to playing Four Masters in the final. I think it's going to be a brilliant final. I wouldn't rule out this Naomh Conaill game. It's going to be a good test for both teams, the final, maybe particularly for Four Masters. We know they're coming with a very good underage team the way they're coming, but an easy enough one for Naomh Conaill in the end up. But Emer, from your own point of view and Tearmainn point of view, I said a good year and be happy if they get these players missing back and everything else, and they look forward to building on their good performance this year with the senior team winning the senior league and everything else. Naomh Conaill, just another final for Naomh Conaill. It just keeps going on, and you have to hand it to Naomh Conaill as a club and everything else. They've taken the standards to another level in this county, and anybody that wants to be there needs to follow them and do what they're doing and be better.
Yeah, and as we even said earlier on, there's so many of these key under 21 players that still haven't broken ranks into that senior team, so they're always going to be knocking on the door and asking questions of the senior management to see if maybe next year will be their year where they get the chance to shine. And whenever you're training or you're in the midst of a very successful team, success breeds success, and I think that definitely seems to be the way for Naomh Conaill. But from a Tearmainn perspective, we've had 2 very big years as a senior club. If you don't win, you learn, and that's going to be a lesson for the Tearmainn team today, and they will come back from this. They're still a very young team, and if they had half as good a year next year for the senior team as they had this year, they'd be very happy. And I think they'll want to build from this as well, and to look at the likes of Glenties and maybe replicate what they've done over the past 2 years themselves. So I don't think they'll be too disappointed. It's been a very, very good year for them. We're all very proud of them, and they've been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, that's very well said, Tim. I think from Naomh Conaill point of view, it just, as they say, they keep going on and keep producing brilliant young footballers for their club and for their county and everything else. So I said it's getting a wee bit dark here. We might get somebody from the Naomh Conaill. I think Sinead's gone down to get somebody in the Naomh Conaill club maybe to come up here to say a few words, and they've all gone into the dressing room on the far side, so it mightn't be possible to do that anyway. But we will take it that Donegal are going to stream the final, which people will be looking forward to, and I'll tell you, anybody listening to us now or anybody would see it, get by the streaming for this final, because this is going to be, I said, if we get a reasonable day at all, this is going to be, I think, looking forward to a brilliant match between two best teams. A lot of them playing, as Emer said, adult football, a lot of them playing senior football, a lot of them have championship medals in their pocket, and sure, Four Masters have won everything. I think somebody said that Conor McCall at underage has never been beaten in underage football. Emer has never been beaten. He's been beaten as senior, but he's never been beaten in underage since he started playing underage. I think he's never been. So that's the level they're at. This Naomh Conaill team, I think, are getting closer to them every year and getting better, which is, again, great credit to them. So it's going to be a brilliant final, and we look forward to it, and we look forward to seeing us that it will be streamed in 2 weeks. I think it's going to be 2 weeks' time. It'll be streamed and everything else. So it'll be a big game to have before Christmas, because then we look forward to the 4th of June and the start of the McKenna Cup, and we're here and we might be playing Derry in the first game at home. It's not official yet, but that might be the first game we Derry at home, and then you play Fermanagh seemingly under lights after that. So new system in this year, and inter-county with the championship, which is going to probably help. I think there's going to be 4 weeks between an Ulster final, if you're not in the preliminary round, between the Ulster final, between the end of the National League, and if you're not in the preliminary round, you have 4 weeks, which is probably fair looking forward. I think that was a problem with counties not wanting to win a league, so it's going to be better that way, I think, with this new system coming in.
Yeah, and we all know that the winter months can be very long, and the league definitely shortens that. And as you said last year, there definitely was a tactical approach to that as well.
Yeah.
So maybe this year with the change in that, we'll see more excitement and more action in the early stages of the league as well. Yeah,
that's it. Right, from me and Emer, it's back to the studio. We'll get a warm cup of tea here, and we'll get back to get the dinner and everything else. But thank you for watching and listening to us here in Park Naomh Clumba in Glenswilly. It's an easy one for the Naomh Conaill men, and they're through to the final where they meet Four Masters. Thank you to everybody. It's gone through. It looks like steps there, but for Shea Malone, he was looking where he turns on to the right foot, and we know accurate Shea Malone. Shea Malone, good foot pass by Shea Malone, and to number 13, Stephen McDevitt, and he goes for a brilliant score, and that's a 1-pointer over again. And this is dangerous, isn't that wee man, Stephen McDevitt? He loves that left foot. He cuts inside. This is very good play by McDevitt, and that's a great score by McDevitt. That's the second point, and he's got his midfield partner on this side of the field, John James Sweeney. Now he goes long. It's a great ball in. Brilliant, great chance of a score here. It's gone in and it's gone over the bar, and it's Oisin Harkin, and they're going to keep carrying the ball to this side of the field. So they're Owen Gallagher inside to John James Sweeney. He's through and he's going to have an easy chance of a score here, and he knocks it over the bar. Held on by Mark McDevitt. Mark McDevitt gives it to Finn Barroti. He thought about it. He was lucky not to be blown for steps. He gives it into Shane Malone. This is danger. There's a goal chance here, and he knocked it over the bar. Was it Mark McDevitt who'd had that half chance? The Conaill men have the ball again, and it's Tearmainn Ward. He's going to have a go. That's a great kick. That's a 2-pointer by Tearmainn Ward. That area, but it's worked out by the Tearmainn men, but it's thrown away. Finn Barroti read it very well. Finn Barroti gives it into Stephen McDevitt. Stephen McDevitt back to Finn Barroti. There's a goal chance here. Here goes. This is going to brilliantly played, and the ball's in the back of the net. And
miss bounce or miss pass, and they're going in numbers then, and any one of them really could have scored that goal.
And knocked that ball over the bar. It's gone in again, and another this year as well. And here goes this Oisin Harkin. That's a great ball inside. There's a goal chance on here this time now. Can he finish it? Brilliant save by the goalie. I think it was Owen. Their best player in the first half was Oisin Harkin. Gives it out to the man picked up a yellow card, Patrick Fagan. Patrick Fagan wearing 5. They keep trying to work it in. There's a brilliant ball inside now. This back inside of Patrick Fagan. Will he go for a score? He's going for a goal, and he finishes in the back of the net. So here you go, Finn Barroti busting forward, and here comes his midfield partner Max Campbell. Took a lot of steps. Have your right foot, Max. Don't need one. Inside, this is a goal chance, and just goes out. Danny Brown cuts inside. Looks like Danny was fouled, but the ref says no, and he gives it inside to Stephen McDevitt, and Stephen McDevitt knocks over a brilliant shot. And his young Rorty, he done it. Niall Rorty did well. Here goes. This man's going for goal. Shane Malone. He's going for goal, and he hits it, but he knocks it over the bar. Can he chip it up on the run here? Oh, look at that. Brilliant chip up by Danny Brown. Lays it off. This is danger. This is big danger. It's Owen Doherty again. Inside to Danny Brown, and Danny Brown knocks it over the bar. And
Conaill have any bother putting this one over the bar?
Yeah, just see Mark McDevitt coming out here and telling them, the management team, they can't go back because this man, Jack McGlynn, busting right through, and he's going right up the field, and he gives it inside to Max Campbell, inside to his midfield partner Finn Barroti. Finn Barroti shoots a goal.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Serving Donegal since 1983, Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies is your one-stop shop for bathrooms, heating and renewable energy solutions. Visit our showroom for quality products, expert advice and friendly local service. Proudly part of the Shop Local gift card scheme. Donegal Plumbing and Heating Supplies. 40 years of quality, service and trust.